Alright, today we're going to learn how to make a leash or a check cord. It's very easy, very simple, and I was thinking the other day about how a newcomer to dogs, or bird dogs in particular, probably gets a little bit overwhelmed because we always talk about so many contraptions. You know, we've got barrels and platforms and check cords. You know, we've got all kinds of stuff. We've got roding harnesses and e-collars and different kinds of training collars and bird launchers, and you know, there's so many terms, and sometimes we just tend to make everything so overwhelming and too complicated. And you know, in society today, and at least in American society, it's all about bigger and nicer is better. But sometimes simplicity just takes the cake. You just can't beat simplicity. And I can't see going out and buying a check cord for 20 or 25 bucks when you can make one for $7 that works just as good, if not better, and more to your specifications. So today, let's talk about the equipment. Got a 1-inch, which is what I typically use, 1-inch brass snap. It's, you know, swivels here, and 1-inch snap. And the reason I use brass, and most people who deal with anything like this at all will tell you to use brass because it's just the longevity's much more extended over, you know, any type of silver you would buy, any nickel or whatever. I don't know, any other finish, but or material. The bronze is just better, or brass is particularly better, especially Italian brass. But this is an Italian. I got at the local hardware store, but it works just fine. I just picked this up today, and then the rope. This is, I believe, 7/16 with a nylon rope. Now, you know, typically, traditionally, bird doggers have used either 3/8 or 7/16 with a nylon rope. Now, you know, it doesn't really matter. I mean, that's another thing we've kind of, you know, standardized, and you know, every time you see a check cord, it's either 3/8 or 7/16 almost all the time. And you know, go down to your local hardware store. If they have a sale going on for some of that, oh, I can't remember what it's called, some of that paracord, or the cord, you know, you can buy, and it's all different colors, and it's got a real pretty designs on it and everything. And you can buy 150 foot of that for about $10. I mean, why not do it? That's, you know, several leads and check cords right there. And just because it's not the color most people would say or whatever. You know, if I went down to a hardware store, I was down at Lowe's yesterday, and I saw this particular rope in black. And, you know, it was on sale. If I didn't have enough of a supply right now, I would have bought that. I wouldn't have had any problem buying that. It might be a little harder to see than white or blaze orange, but I mean, usually it's snapped onto a dog anyway. So, anyway, that's the deal. So what I did was I actually cut this rope off of a section of check cord that I have, and that's what I do. I use real long check cords. This one was like 60 foot long, and so I just cut the end off of it, and then I burnt the ends. I heated up the oven and burned the ends so it won't fray, and there we go. So you can see there's about 1 foot, 2 foot, 3 foot, 4 foot, 5 foot, 6 foot. There's about 7 foot there. So this is kind of a lead / check cord. And the reason I cut this off, and I made this one yesterday, was because I was out in the field working my dogs, and I'm starting Moxie on whoa, and I didn't have a lead. So I just cut this off, and I took the snap I had on my other check cord, and I wrapped it on this because I don't want to be dragging around 60 foot of rope when I'm, you know, trying to teach her how to heel and whoa. So that's what I did, and then I went out and bought this today to put on it permanently. So let's get started on how to make a lead or a check cord. Just remember, it can be simpler if, you know, there's no reason to go spend $20 when you can do this. I mean, this is probably costing me, you know, $5. So anyway, you take the rope and you thread it through the snap. Okay, you want to get a good little bit through there. Maybe not quite a foot, but a good little bit. And then you take a section over here. Now you're gonna loop this, and when you loop it, you want the part coming from the from the snap to go behind the leading rope. Okay. Then you take your end and you loop it through. All right, you got that? You loop it through. Then you're gonna loop it under. So you're gonna go under and back through. Okay? And then you pull it tight. And that's all there is to a check cord. And some people may argue that a clasp or a clamp would work better, but I'll tell you, like yesterday, I've never had a knot come loose when I was working a dog. Never. And I've had dogs, most bird doggers have had dogs hit the end of their line and just, charge them. When they see a bird get up in the air, they're not playing around. They don't want to tickle you. They're trying to pull you to the ground, trying to get after that bird. And also, the reason I like knots more is because you can do it in a jam, like yesterday in that pinch. I needed something shorter, so I took out my pocket knife. I cut off a section of rope, took the snap off the check cord, and, in about 4 minutes, I had a perfectly usable lead. And I couldn't have done that if the clasp was on the other one. On the check cord, I couldn't have gone off the snap. And if I would have had to if I wouldn't have had to know how to tie one of these knots, well, then I couldn't have built this new one to build the lead in a. I lost my train of thought. I couldn't have built this lead in a pinch anyway. But there you go. And you can undo it and redo it and everything else. So that's that. Let's do this knot one more time just to make sure anybody who doesn't get it yet knows how to do it. So you're going to bend it over. See? You want the trailing line over the line that's coming out of the snap. Then you're going to go through, over, and back through. Hold on to this, and pull the trailing line. That's good. All you got to do is pull it tight. There you go. That's the end of a check cord. Now, I'll show you at the other end though. You get a dog running, and he takes off on you, and you're working, say you prefer a 20-foot check cord, and you're working with the 20-foot check cord. Well, as the dog starts to pull, if you're not wearing gloves, I don't train with gloves. If you don't wearing gloves, sometimes if you grip down on that rope, it's going to burn your hands. And if you've got a ways to go, and you're trying to maybe teach a dog to recall to here, well, then as he breaks away, you can just, instead of gripping down on it, you can just grip down enough so it slides through your hands. And then if you have a knot at the end of the rope, see if there was a knot at the end of the rope, then as the dog gets to the end, you can lay back into that knot, and your weight will catch the dog from getting away from you, instead of having to grip down and burn yourself. So I'm going to show you how to build or tie a stopper knot. I call it a stopper knot. Some people call it a figure 8 knot. But the way it works is, see, typically when we're tying these knots, you just go one overhand and you're done, right? And I guess this could work, but I like a meatier stopper knot. So what you do is you go just like you're gonna tie a regular knot, but instead of going through like this, you go over one more time. Very simple, very easy. And as you can see, I've got really big hands, so this might seem odd, but anyway, if you can see, that puts up a nice blunt surface there for your hands to catch when the dog is sliding the check cord through your hands. So, and I'll show you right here why they call it a figure 8. So let's do it one more time. Also, you can do it like this, You take this, you twist once, twist twice, feed it back through. That's the easiest way. Oh, okay, let's try that again. Twist once, twist twice, feed it back through. That's, oh heck. Oh, y'all got me confused now. I'll just stick with this. How far? There we go. Oh, maybe it's not that simple. Anyway, that's why they call it a figure 8 knot. Alright, I'm going to do that one more time just to make sure I haven't gotten Alzheimer's or anything. There you go. There you go, figure 8, see? And one more time, just to show y'all that I'm not making up that I know how to do it. There we go. And there you go. You've got a perfectly good, totally usable check cord. You can cut this up into 2 3.5 foot leads if you need to, and give one to a friend or make one longer. And so that's the gist of it.